motion before the House is this House believes that Western nations should use military force to rescue journalists captured by the enemy. We now call on the Prime Minister to open the case.
Does anyone have a timer?
Yeah. Oh, you know what the timer is? Take my phone.
Journalists represent our truth, and we cannot let our truth be taken away from us. So we as OG see Western nations not only as America and things, but any country that is shaped by European culture and Western culture. So any mainstream society that accepts the westernized culture. So this can be Europe, except Russia, like Western and Central Europe, the United States, North and South America, Australia, New Zealand, and even South Africa, countries that can use military force to rescue their journalists. So we see armed forces as a small military unit of soldiers with weapons specifically going to turn these people like a guerrilla force, not a huge army that will empty our resources, just a small group. So and we see journalists as the people that go to the press and they reveal the truth of this war, and people that are specifically there to report on the war and things that are going on in this country. So obviously we would ask them nicely first to return our journalists, and if they don't, then we would send in armed forces, not going with this without thinking. So America is not the only country that we are looking here. So the argument of them going in and getting resources is nullified here because there are many other westernized countries that also want to go save their journalists. Okay, so my first argument on the importance of journalists and why we need them. So we need these people to reveal the gruesome nature of war and the things that are going on in these countries. They can be the only way that we can stop the war, because we need to make people aware of what is happening in these countries. And since these people themselves cannot go to this country and see, we need journalists. So the thing of this journalist being only one person, and we can't send a whole military unit in to save this one person. The journalist does not represent just one person. The journalist himself represents the masses, because the people in the country, westernized or any, cannot go in themselves and see. The only way that they can see what is going on in this country is through the journalist. So this journalist is not just one person, but represents the whole country and all the people that are going to be reading what he is saying. So we are not saving just this one person, we are saving the truth that everyone needs to know. So without journalists, the government can change the image of what is going on in this country. They can call what we see as a battlefield something as peace. So we need an objective view that journalists give us, so we can actually know exactly what is going on.
Point of information.
Yes, I'll take your point.
Is the journalist always objective?
The job of a journalist is specifically to be objective, and in cases of things like war, where there are no celebrities involved, there won't be things like sensationalism, because this is the gruesome and cold truth of what is going on. So these journalists are being objective because they want to reveal the truth. So through seeing what is going on in these countries, they can initiate things like anti-war protests, and therefore stopping what is going on in these enemy countries in their tracks. So we are trying to protect the rights of the people, not only the people in the country who have the right themselves to know what is going on because their government and their country is involved in this, but also the rights of this journalist. So we see that people like soldiers who go in and to fight, they subject themselves to potential death and this. But a journalist does not specifically specifically go with the mind and subject himself to being captured and to be killed even and tortured. So what the journalist does for his job is not supposed to affect his life. The journalist only wants to reveal the truth. So it's unfair that the dealings of his country and his president and the upper men should be influencing directly on this person's life. So just simply reporting on something should not mean that he's subjecting himself to death. And this person needs the protection of his government. So my third argument, that is the danger of fear. Now, what will we see? If journalists know that they can be captured and subjected to death and torture when they are captured by enemies, and they know that their government will not go out of their way to protect them, these people would be too scared to go out and report on this. So we see that the enemy has a hatred for these people and their country. That's why they're seen as the enemy. So they would obviously go out of their way to capture these people and kill them, or however they want to do with them, try and get information out of them, fueled by this hatred that they have. So these journalists will become afraid of this hatred, and they will feel that their lives are threatened. And then they know if their government will not come and save them, then we would see that there would be less and less and less and less journalists that go and report on this. So this would directly infringe on the truth, that righteous truth that we have, because now these people feel that they have no safety in going here, and we need this objective view that journalists give to us. So we need journalists and people to go out and report to the people in the country exactly what is going on. So having this fear subjected to them is very dangerous, because this would influence the truth that we have a right to know of. So we see that these journalists that represent the masses of the people in the other country, they go there specifically to find out what is going on and to report on the truth, to let people know. And specifically, many of them go there to report in an anti-way, so that we can make protests against this war. So we need the journalists so we can lessen the enemy territory and lessen the war itself by people standing up against this. Because where would we be if we did not know what is going on in other countries? If we did not know about the situation in Ukraine and Russia, and there would be no involvement there, then we need our journalists to be able to know what is going on, because we need to be aware of what is going on in the world. And that is why we as government strongly propose.
You're in the next group. So if you